Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legendary Ronnie and today I want to talk about the daily special offer, because with the new change in Rise of Kingdoms in the daily special offer, you can choose the commander you want to work on. Now I know if you're in a very new kingdom or you're just finishing KVK1, you might not have all these commanders available. I'm going to go through that as well. But we just had recently a face-to-face with the devs where they mentioned about a skill lock system. I'm going to make sure to post a card on the top. In that face-to-face with the dev, they said that players will be able to lock skills in the future. So for example, if you really want a 5515 Mehmet, you'll be able to do it. So for that reason, I want to do this video because I want to give you some tips and advices regarding the daily special offer. The reason being is that in the daily special offer, it is the cheapest way if you do want to spend some money in Rise of Kingdoms. This is everyone's choice of what they want to do or how they want to spend their money in Rise of Kingdoms. I'm not a financial advisor, but I know people do. So if you plan to get some commanders from this, I do have to say that it is the cheapest way. And with the skill lock system, you'll be able to get some commanders like, for example, double C. You can get a 5155 double C. And once you get him like that, you can let the gold keys do the trick, even though his expertise is pretty sweet. But the 10% defense reduction is pretty hurtful, to be honest. Even that you get 25% cav attack. So for example, I would skip on double C once you get in 5155, right? Because this is going to be the first commander when you start in a very new kingdom. I've made accounts just for a test purposing to see how far you can get or how the commanders get unlocked. After that, I've done an account that it was in KVK1 or towards finishing KVK1, and I saw they had Mehmed over there, and even as a Mehmed 5511, he's good to go, but 5515 is what you want on Mehmed, and after that you can let the gold keys do the trick. So with all this small investment, you can have an advantage on the field, because once you get his force skills, you get the troops capacity by 10%, and this will help you out on the battlefield when you want to do AoE or when you want to take down your opponent. Other commanders I have seen in there was also Julius Caesar. Once you're in KVK1 or towards the middle of the KVK1 or the end of KVK1, Julius Caesar is the same, 5511. He is good to go. He's really great, and with the skill lock system, you'll be able to do him 5515. Now, how great is that? And after that, you can let the gold keys do the trick. So you don't have to buy the chest of the commanders until you max his skills. So this is really amazing for the new players, for the beginners who really want to do some small investments and they just want to get some good commanders. Now you're probably wondering, why are you advising so many of these commanders to get them like 5155, 5515, and so on? Why not just expertise legendaries? Isn't that the purpose, to like obtain the maximum potential of the commander? Yes, but all these commanders are also available in the gold keys. Gold keys is something that you will open throughout your time in Rise of Kingdoms, and you will maximize or almost maximize some of these commanders anyway through the gold keys. So why should you just spend more on them once, because they will be expertise at some point anyway. And I just want to give you advice to benefit from most of their skills and to benefit when you need them to benefit from, because later on into the game I probably just use some of them in Sunset Canyon, and that's about it. Because right now I do use YSG and Mehmed in Sunset Canyon, and Julius Caesar, sometimes I used him because of the troops capacity is just very nice. Frederick, on the other hand, is one commander I don't advise investing, because Frederick would only help you a lot, and I mean super a lot, in the KVK1, because you really lack commanders and high nuking commanders, but you need him expertise. If you don't have his expertise to have these 100% chances, it will not be so great. I used him in rallies in KVK1, and pretty much we rallied everything with YSG and Frederick. And here comes the one commander you want to expertise, and that's going to be YSG, because YSG is going to be available in KVK1, same as Richard, which is a little bit further down. And This is the one commander you want to expertise. But I was mentioning the other ones because you have the skill lock system, and most likely before you get your YSG unlocked, I'm pretty sure you can work on your double C, I'm pretty sure you can work on your Mehmed, and I'm pretty sure you can work on your Julius Caesar before you even reach to YSG. Once YSG gets unlocked, you can start working on YSG and just make sure you expertise him. If you're an infantry player, then you definitely want to work on Richard as well. But after you expertise your YSG, and as a Richard, because of the skill lock system, my recommendation would be a 5511. The reason of the skill lock system is that you can lock some skills. That way, when you upgrade commanders, you will guarantee just upgrade the skill that you want of the commanders. So you can level him up and you can start utilizing him. It was in the face-to-face with the devs, like I said. I'm going to make sure to post a card on the top. So as a 5511, Richard is good to go. My Richard is 5111 because I didn't use him for field battle purposes. I just used him for doing AoE barbarians, and honestly I'm still using him for that. And right now has a little bit more skills upgraded because Richard, I bought a couple of chests from daily special offer. Who I'm working on right now is Mulan for the support purposes for field battles and Ark of Osiris. But YSG is the number one guy that you want expertise, and now it's really amazing because you can select him and you can just get chests from him each day. And with the skill lock system, which will be in the future, you will be able to do a 5515 YSG, which is the best way to start with. After that, later on, you will just get this one because you need his expertise, you need his circular area, you need that 1700 damage factor is highly worth it. Because I always keep getting this question, well, my YSG is 5515. Why do I need to expertise him? You do need to expertise him. His expertise is everything. Also, Charles Martel will get unlocked at some point as another small investment on Charles Martel 5515. This is another way how you can work on your Charles Martel. So that's really amazing with this skill lock system because you don't really have to expertise all these commanders through the daily special offer or using your universal sculptures, right? You can do just this small investment with the daily special offer, and at some point you'll have really good and useful commanders on the battlefield. The reason I would say a 5515 Charles Martel is because you will get him from gold keys as well at some point, and probably even at the beginning of the game. You will get a lot of him from gold keys, or if you just save gold keys and you open them in batches. And Charles Martel will also be a very nice addition to your army for your infantry march. Especially Richard and Charles Martel is a very well known and powerful pair. El Cid is the one commander I wouldn't really advise that you should work on the daily special offer unless you're an Archer player, then you really want El Cid. Because if you don't have at least an expertise YSG, there is no reason to work on El Cid. That's the truth. If you have an expertise LC, then you don't have an expertise YSG, then you're doing something very wrong in Rise of Kingdoms. As a 5551, LC is good to go, but I wouldn't invest a single chest from the daily special offer. Just get him from the gold keys and work on him from the gold keys. If any other legendaries from here are maxed, then you can work on your LC if you really want to max him, but that's entirely up to you. I maxed my El Cid because our daily special offer, it was not giving us option to choose from. So it was the order that I was going through and I had to finish El Cid anyway. Later on, you will also get Genghis, Alexander, and you'll get Edward of Woodstock. I will strongly recommend working on Genghis now that you can work on him from the daily special offer. Obviously, Alexander is a very nice and powerful commander as well. 5511 is good to go. To tell you the truth, if you would have to choose between the two commanders, I would leave this option up to you because I put them as a equal as strong. A lot of players prefer to go with Alexander because it's infantry and is a little bit more defensive, but personally I prefer to go with more damage and more nuking, which is Genghis Khan. Once you obtain his expertise, to have chances to do his primary skill at 1700, that's pretty neat. I still use Genghis Khan even today, and he's probably one of the commanders that I used the most. Like Attila Takeda, Saladin, Genghis, YSG, these are some of the most used commanders in my army. Well, Attila Takeda a little bit less because they are not really that new, but on the field battle, Attila Takeda, yes, it was one of the most used. Genghis Khan is definitely worth an investment, but I'm pleasantly surprised to tell you that I see Alexander over here. I was not expecting to see Alexander, and I was not expecting to see Genghis Khan as well. Very, very good commanders and very good investments in Rise of Kingdoms. As a 5-5, Genghis is also good to go, but I would recommend to expertise him. Edward of Woodstock. To tell you the truth, if you don't work on Tomiris, I don't really advise working on Edward, but since you can get him from the daily special offer, Edward and YSG can have a place in your army. They are very useful in KVK2 because that's when Edward is available. So if you don't really have him in KVK2, now KVKs are very fast paced, you will get into the KVK3. In KVK3 there is a lot of players migrating with many of the new commanders, and he kinda gets demolished. That is the reality. When I started playing the game, it was very different. We had KVK2, we had it again. We had KVK3. And then when we had our first Light versus Darkness, for us was KVK4, and KVK5 was Light versus Darkness as well. And I think some kingdoms barely had Heroic Anthem on KVK6, or they had another Light versus Darkness, some kingdoms. And that's pretty crazy, right? Some kingdoms had 3 Light versus Darkness before they had Heroic Anthem. So all these commanders that were gradually released in Rise of Kingdoms, it made sense to use them. But now when people are keep migrating to newer kingdoms to do KVK 2 and 3, Edward is just getting demolished. But as another note, if you really want a lot of kills, Edward and Tomiris is the key to your 5 nuking marches. If you have 5 nuking marches, and by nuking marches I mean marches that do a lot of kill damage, like you look at Genghis Khan for example, you look at Saladin, you look at Guan Yu, you look at Alexander, Edward, Tomiris, all these commanders that have high skill damage, then an Edward and Tomiris will be an addition to your army for that nuking purposes. And if you really want to work on him, you might want to expertise him. A lot of players said that 5551 on Edward is good to go because this one is not so highly worth. Once you get this to max skill, you do unlock his expertise, but you get 15% attack, so we pretty much get the most out of the skill. And 70%, that's not a lot. You drop on the 70% pretty fast if you get targeted for a little bit. Still, I find his expertise pretty unique. For 2 seconds after using an active skill, all normal attack and counter attack deal 50% increased damage. That's quite a lot, to tell you the truth. The only problem is that his 30% health does not help him as much as everyone hoped for. He's still very squishy on the battlefield. But hey, I didn't regret working on him because, like I was talking a little bit earlier about him, back in the days when I worked on Edward, we had plenty of older KVKs and fighting with people that didn't have the newer commanders. It was very, very different. And ultimately, if you manage to finish with all this commander from this list, then I highly recommend Mulan, and I highly recommend to obtain her expertise because she's an amazing support commander for your murder ball. And I've done videos about murder balls as well. I'll make sure to post some cards on the top because I've done so many videos about commanders, and I'll try to filter some of them and just post them on the top. I even done video about Mulan as well. The 20% attack, defense, and health increase is pretty amazing. Joan of Arc still has a place in the army because they are both active skills. Joan of Arc and Mulan, they are active skills. And for example, Joan of Arc and Mulan going into the same time, right? We can take archers, for example. Joan of Arc does 30% increase attack to the archers. Obviously, that will overcome Mulan's attack, but Mulan also increased defense and health bonus, so the archer will get a 30% attack from Joan of Arc, but it will get the defense and health bonus from Mulan. I hope that makes sense. For example, infantry gets 30% health, so it's the same situation. Infantry will get the attack and defense from Mulan, and they will get the health from Joan. So obviously Joan of Arc still plays a very important role because it does give a little bit higher stats. Plus, Joan of Arc buff lasts for 4 seconds and it gives rage restoration as well. But Mulan, like I said, has a very nice addition for support commanders or support roles in Rise of Kingdoms. I hope you do find this video very helpful, and I hope you do understand a lot from this video, because it will definitely help you out how you want to work on your commanders, especially with the new lock system. I think that's really great for new players or players that haven't worked on many of these commanders, or they haven't skilled them up very much, especially if you probably get some reset, as they were saying in the face-to-face with the devs. Now let me know what you think in the comment section below about the new daily special offer, because honestly I'm super hyped about it, and I really like that you can select the commanders you want to work on. Not to mention that I get a lot of reports, player acquiring a lot of sculptures from this chest. Until next time, this is your boy Geroni signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.